So, servus. In this video, we will talk about where is the fucking squeeze from AMC? Does GME still have to knife down? What the fuck is BYND doing, especially with this little last move in the last 50 minutes of the market? Is FFAI now really ready to go? And a little update on SAVA or cassava science. If you're interested, just stay tuned. So, really quick, as always, I'm using the Fractal method. If you're interested in the full explanation, I will put the explanation video at the end of the video, or you just search for the Fractal method playlist on my YouTube channel. So, I think that was quick enough this time. Sorry. Okay. We will start with FFAI. So, for the whole explanation, I will link the big video at the end of the stream because it doesn't make sense for my old viewers to just watch the whole thing. I will make the big meme stock video and all stocks. It will be really a big video on the weekend. Today, just some little updates to get informed. So we only will look at this range today. And to be fair, it's also the only range which right now is very important because we want to know, are we ready to squeeze or not? So for this, we have two versions, the bullish one or the bearish one. But the bearish one means this ticker is dead. For the bullish one, we did our higher low. We started it in April 2025. We finished it in November 17 with a perfect BYND. After that, we added a micro higher low from November 17 to December 31. Remember these dates. I'm just telling you because so many tickets. You maybe, if you're tracking other tickers, you will see that November 21st or November 17 this year and December 31st, so many tickers made the bottom in this range and finished their higher lows on that day. Pretty interesting. So for FFAI, this was the higher low. And till then, we added a second micro higher low. And the second micro higher low, we finished yesterday. Just saying. Because you had here you have here your micro A, here micro B, and here micro C. Lower peak M. On the date I said, because my time frame is January 12th to February 19, on the start date was just our T. We went down, we made our V under A, and we bounced. So, what could happen now? So, first of all, the bearish version, we knife, we break under $1, we break under 87 cents, and we die. Yeah. Delist, and it's over. End of story, bye. No, that's for the bearish alternative. For the bullish alternative, I mean, of course, we could just now say, haha, we go up. Thing is, I know you, I could imagine you can't hear it anymore, but we have to do a little higher low just for this thing. But to be real, this is our V. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thursday, Friday. So if we're not just squeezing this week, I would imagine we now do this till Friday. I mean, we are talking about price movements between 2 or 3 cents. Yeah, just saying. The only important thing is if we closing on Friday over $1.05, that's absolutely fucking bullish. Yeah, no financial advice, of course. But if we're doing this, till Friday, I could really see something absolutely stupid next week. What do I mean with that? Well, what is our next move? Our next move is this is our higher low. For our A, something over $4 to $5. For our B, something over $10 to $11. And our C, around $153. And that's the little strawberry on the cake. As I'm always saying, I'm not looking for A pullback, B pullback, C. I'm looking really for a ABC. Yeah. Just because in the past we always did that. After the higher lows, we always just ran. Here the same. V, higher low, run. V, higher low, run. V, higher low, run. Yeah, just saying. And it really looks fucking great right now. Yeah, maybe I'm already a little bit too bullish because I'm tracking this stock now since 2023. But I could be wrong. If not, money making machine. And I think the contracts right now are fucking cheap. Even if you throw $50 at it and we do this shit. Yeah. Okay. Next one. Beyond. So here again, the big video, the explanation video I put at the end. Today we just look at this section here. Also, for Beyond, two versions. We start with the bearish version. With the bearish version, that means that since October 16 till today, and most likely till the next 2 or 3 weeks, this is just higher low. And in that case, the higher low wouldn't be finished. In that case, this whole thing is just our T. And in that case, this here would be our last micro T. And to finish a T, you have to fall where it started. And that means you will knife. Yeah. And you only have to come lower than 81 cents. But if you come down here, you still have this gap here open from 88 cents to 66 cents. And if you come lower than this, you will fill it. Yeah. And then you do your micro high low and then you run. Not seeing that yet, but be careful. I will also say that in the levels after that. So for the bullish version means our big higher low, our macro higher low was finished on November 21st. Remember that again, because I already said the FFAI also, it was November 17, fine, but it was 4 days later. Yeah? And since then, we made a little micro higher low, which ended at December 31st. Same as FFAI, just saying. So in that case, this wouldn't be T. this would be just higher low. So we ended this. And since then, for the bullish tracking, this here, our T was here, and this here is already a breakout. And this would be already our A. Where does A bounce? Well, we take from our low to our peak, this fib retracement, and you have two ways. You can bounce at the 0.5, or you bounce at the 0.618. What did we do yesterday? Or today? Sorry. We fell down under the 0.618 and we bounced. With a massive candle, even with volume. Yeah. So for the bullish tracking, this is already breakout retest. And you could easily say that this here is already your your higher low, your little micro higher low of this. That means we could already start tomorrow to go up. Yeah. The only alternative to this is that this was our T. And in that case, to still be bullish, we would have to come, I would imagine, till Friday here, down here to 86. And we have to go lower, so 85 cents. Till Friday, next week, same as FFAI, we would go. Yeah? Or this is already finished. So tomorrow should be really telling on this. What would be the next move if you're a new one on this channel? Well, our next move, because this whole thing is just higher low, our next A is around $30 to $15. So up, 0.5 pullback. Our B is around $43 to $80. Then again, B pullback. And then the only question is, are you breaking all-time highs or not? And that means only if we're really doing an ABC. The only problem is I can't predict that in here because we only see the fractal form the C. Yeah, then lower high MP and MT and so on. We never saw how the B and the A looked like. We will see this time, the first time in this chart. So for levels. For levels, let's start with the bullish ones. Okay. Everything over $1.02 is bullish. Everything over $1.08 is very bullish. And everything over 125, there is no alternative anymore to the downside. If we break this week or next week 90 cents, then we still have to do the V under A. And the V under A of this one would be lower than 85 cents. Yeah, would still be bullish. If you break under 81 cents again, you will go down to 66 cents. Yeah, that's the levels. I have to say, I'm leaning more to bullish right now. Next one, SAVA. So here also, I will link the video with the big explanation at the end of the video. We are only looking for the higher low, same as BYND and FFAI. So here's our higher low landmark. On April 2025, we made, for the bullish tracking, we made our absolute low. We started our higher low. We ended our higher low in a perfect V&A. And now, Just guess on what date. December 31st. Again, same like BYND and FFAI. Okay, what did we do after that? Well, we added a little micro higher low. So here's our little micro higher low, which there are two ways. Yeah, for the absolute bullish version means this is your A, this is your A bottom, somewhere in this candle, because on this little small time frame and the low volume of the stock, you just really have problems to see everything. Somewhere in this candle is your B. Here is your top, your lower peak, your M, and your T. For the absolutely bullish version, this is your A. This is your A bottom. We finished it in a V&A. In that case, this is already the breakout. Yeah? So this stock is starting its gap fills. I will show that in a second. Always Friday pre-market, Friday after hour, or Monday pre-market. So I don't think we will see something crazy already on Thursday. So for the most bullish thing, this is already breakout. So I could easily see just a breakout retest. And Friday, we're already gapping, or we're doing this till Friday after hours. Next Tuesday, because Monday is no market, could be already the gap up. If not, then this here isn't your A, then this is your A. In that case, this was just T. And we still have to come down here under $2, 2 cents. So $2, 1 cent is already enough. And then you go. Also possible till Friday. If not, we could still add 1 or 2 weeks. Just saying. What are the levels for this? Before I show why we are looking at it. Levels wise, if you go over 220, that's only 3 cents. The downside alternative is gone. Because if you go over M, this can't be T anymore. And this is your T. For a breakout retest, it would be $2.06. If you break $2.06, I think there's a very good chance that you will still go to $2.01. This would still be bullish. For the bearish alternative, and there is really a big bearish alternative. Yeah. If you break $1.96, in my opinion, you will go down. Yeah. Because in that case, you will be very quick breaking 175. And if you're breaking 175, we would most likely repeat this section from November 2018. We would be right here. We will knife to a new all-time low. This would be our next 6 months. And then we have the next chance to do the gap fill. Yeah. Just as a reminder, this also can go terribly wrong right now. That's why it's a 100% risk play. Why are we even looking at it? Because I didn't show it at the beginning. We're looking at this gap here. Yeah. We want to fill this gap. If we are finished, we will gap fill in maximum 7 trading days from this level to $26. Just say. Yeah. That's the only reason why we're looking at this stuff. And you can imagine or calculate yourself what that would mean if you buy calls here, which mostly only 1 cent right now, and you're running in a week to $26. Okay. Good. Did I already talk? No, levels already we talked. Okay. Then next one, AMC. So here the whole AMC chart. Again, for the full explanation, I will link the last video with the big explanation at the end of the video. Today, we are just looking at this section here. So, in the last videos, I said we won't squeeze from the bottom. So if this was the bottom, no squeeze. And I said, I'm 100% confident we're not doing the squeeze this week. And you didn't. I will say now the next horrifying message. In my opinion, it would be not 95% sure it's not next week. Just saying. Why? Okay. I only have two versions for this. One bullish one, one bearish one. We start with the bearish. We start with the bullish one. Let's start with the bullish one. With the bullish one, you have to look. So, with the bullish one, this is our bottom. We won't go lower than January 8th. Perfect. We did a small higher low, which ended in a BYND. Perfect. In the moment we did it, we start running. What is this? Well, for the bullish version, this here is our higher low. And I mean the higher low. Not any higher low. I mean the last higher low before you squeeze. In that case, somewhere in this candle is your A. We already did our B. We already did our C. Where do we have to fall? Well, take this. In that case, your target to bounce is 150. Yeah? 150. I mean, okay, it can also be 148. Yeah, as long as you're not breaking 146, everything is fine. Yeah, but it starts with 150. So most likely till Friday, you will come lower than this. Then this higher low is finished. What comes after that? After that, you will do your A. And that's really important now. After that comes your A, B, C. I mean, okay, I don't think it will go that high. So something around here. Wait, look. Something around here is your next C. So you will do your A, B, C. That's your A. And from this A, you only have to do, okay, now we have too much. You only have to do your 0.5 pullback. So in the best case, we're doing this till Friday. This is next week. Maybe already in one candle up is also possible. We don't have to do this micro shit. We just have to come up here. Then we do a 0.5 pullback. If we really are here, I mean, we will see that. I will post it then. This 168, in my opinion, if this is the peak, this is your last time to buy. Yeah. So, of course, now people will say, yeah, but I watched your last videos and you said 151 is your last buy. Yes. And it still is. Because if you're doing this A shit, this is the lowest level myth confirmation you will get to buy contracts. Yeah. Because if you're doing this and you fall back to 167, the contracts will be most likely already a little bit more expensive than this. Yeah. So this would be the last time myth confirmation where you get cheap contracts. Yeah. Just say. Also, just to show that, so you don't think I'm just finding spots now. Yeah. So left is now, right is 2021. Yeah. And you see here the same. You did your V, you do your higher low, you do your higher low, then you're doing your A. This would be this A. And then you're doing your 0.5. That's why I'm saying that. Yeah. This move here, January 13, would be this move. And that's why I'm saying it's the same, and it's the same like in 2021. Yeah. This would be this. This is the last time to get shares or contracts that low. Yeah. Because this, I would imagine that the IV of the contracts is already running up. And you also see that in 2024. So here's 2024. In 2024, you don't even saw the higher low. You just saw from the low, you just ran up to your A, pulled back to your 0.5 or 0.61. You added a micro higher low, and then you ran. And that is the 1 hour chart, just saying. So that's important. So levels wise, okay, which right now is really important. So if we bounce somewhere in this range, so somewhere under 152 and say not lower than 146, perfect. Bullish tracking is running, and I would imagine it shouldn't take you longer than the first 2 weeks of February. But that's just a thought from me. Landmarks will prove that or not. Now comes the alternative. And that's very important, okay? Because if you're breaking under, where's our bottom? Under 146, the alternative comes, and that means only one thing. We aren't finished. Yeah. In that case, if you break, in my opinion, under 146, this whole thing, what we did till last Friday, was just this. Yeah. In that case, if this is not holding, most likely you will come down to 172, 27, 127. This would be this landmark here. And then again, you still have to do your high low and still have to do your A. Most likely, because I will show that on GameStop too, if we are doing that, we should do that next week, latest. Yeah, I would imagine, because it's a short week, we do that knife on Tuesday, next week. If so, for levels, bouncing anywhere above 146, perfect. We are fucking close. We do our A, we do our 0.5 pullback, we squeeze. If we fall under 146, the whole next week will be the knife to our V. The week after, I think that's the last week of January, where we do our higher low. In the first week of February, we will do the higher low at the A. And in the second to third February week, we could already see our run. I mean, I'm working right now on a really bearish alternative, which takes us to April, but I'm not seeing that right now, so I don't will vary you. So, okay. So last one, Jimmy. So also for Jimmy, if you want the full explanation, I will link the video at the end of the video. We will just look at this section here. Yeah. And for this, we start with the, I only have the bearish alternative right now. The thing is, you could even compare this on the weekly. It looks even better. Yeah. I still think this here is our T1. The same like we did here. This here is T2. same like we did in December. And right now, we are in T3. For GME, I really don't see a case where we're not dropping. Yeah, we still have to do this. Still, my level is still 70.52. So let's zoom in. So just for the clarification, what I mean. So this whole thing is T1. Last time to sell before you drop to your V&A. Yeah. And in that case, that would be for me 70.58. Yeah. But as I'm always saying, I'm absolutely fine with everything under 19.60. It could be just be 19.20. Fine. Yeah. But we have to come lower than this. T2 is just the micro tracking, the micro T from this T1, because T1 is just a little C, a lower high, midpoint T. That's why T2. And the T3 is just a little micro tracking from T2, because you have here your C, lower high, midpoint, last time to say. And the point is, especially, you could easily say for the bullish variant, T1 is finished. It came lower, it bounced. I will show the bullish alternative I'm not believing in a second. If not, this is not finished, I have to come down. For the T2, this can't be finished. If this is a T2, it can't be finished, because for the T2, you have to come lower than 1960. And for T3, it also can't be finished, because T3 started here, so you have to at least come lower than 1998. So I'm still standing to it. My target is downside 70.57. And for time, I want to see that next Tuesday. Latest. Even this, at least the start of it. Then doing a little micro high low, and off you go. The only alternative, because I'm trying to show always an alternative. In that case, no T3, no T2. This T is finished with November 21st, which is again quite interesting, because if you watched BYND, FFAI, and SAVA, Friday 21st, you made a higher low, which ended on December 31st. You bounced it. And in that case, you would go up. In my opinion, you wouldn't break $30. This would be your A. Quite the same thing like what I'm showing for AMC. 0.5 pullback. Same time, AMC is finished with its 0.5 pullback of A, and you go. I know, I mean, if you look at that way, there is a way you can say, okay, perfect. November 21st was your V, and December 31st was the ending of your high low, because so many other tickers doing the same absolute shit. So maybe I'm really wrong on this knife. If so, perfect. So be it. Your buying target would still be here. Yeah. So, yeah. Let's see what we will get. I think on absolutely all tickers, it will be, next week will be telling. Yeah. We might already see big moves on some stocks and the finish of the other ones. Will be interesting. Okay. As always, if you liked it, leave a like. Explanation video for the method is here. This time the video for the big explanation I will put here, not the playlist. And if you want to see more, you can leave an abo. let's see how the week is ending. See ya.